what does it feel like to have that stigma and that moral judgment placed on you?
I think the biggest thing should be, what does it feel to be like a human rights side of being a human being, irregardless. You're black, you're uneducated, you're poor, or you're black, you're educated, trying to climb the corporate ladder, or having a degree, university, not getting a job and everything. It runs on a bigger spectrum. It's not only one running on, why are we stigmatizing each other in our communities, in our society, where stigma runs through. But sex workers are more vulnerable to stigma, and because it's a key population and some people who are not looked up to. So if you get healthcare services, the service providers are not very willing, or have, oh, you're a sex worker, why are you coming for an STD test? Or, you know, how many partners do you have? Oh, you're back again. That looking down. Or you're a transgender woman, you're back again. Oh, you're a male sex worker. You sell sex, you're a man. So it's just that stigma is just there over and over again, and that's why we need more protection. That's why this decriminalization should come, so that people can be able to work and be who they want to be.
Will decriminalization change the stigma, do you think?
I think it will change everything.
I promise you, it will.
It will.
Because if I go to the police station now and I say, I've been raped, because I'm going as a student and I want to put, they're going to tell me, you can't be raped, you're a sex worker. You sell sex, how can you be raped? You're just that. In a sense, I must feel that I've been violated by somebody, and I can let that person be held accountable. You see, that will, if that changed, I promise you, you will be able to walk into a clinic, go have a test, you know, and not being looked upon, oh, she's got 10 partners, and they bring it upon themselves now, we must look after them, and, you know, that thing. It will take it away. I promise you, it will.
I think decrim will solve a lot of social. Because you can
issues.
be able to have a loan to bank, basic conditions of employment. You're just like any other worker, health and safety. You know, safety for you and your client. In New Zealand, they have a 100% condom policy. The police is more friendlier. This was research that was done over 5 years, because it was decriminalized in 2003, and then in 2008 it was full, and then they did the research over 5 years to see how did it work. Did sex workers increase? And says no, the sex workers didn't increase. It was actually much easier to work, more help, everything was more accessible. And then the economy, they were able to even know how much money they're generating from sex work. So it's just being able to work because they were paying their taxes, so they actually have a GDP for sex work. So that's something that, you know, people should seriously look like. Decriminalization will also bring that.
They know how much infection there is, you know, things like that, because they will go there. They won't feel, oh, I can't go there. I have to go in by the red door, and they go in by the yellow door. You know, that will be taken away, and you will feel that you are a human being going in there. I need some health care. You know, that it can change, because it's got to do with who you are, and, you know, breaking that person down, for that person to walk and, you know, walk in there and that confidence. That is what makes a human being. That to feel human again, not like a dog or whatever you just put under the carpet. Or, I don't know, they do it. You will not believe me how they do it, but they do it. They do it. I'm telling you, they do it.
Now, with the current state of sex work in South Africa, pushing sex workers, it sounds almost underground, it's like you have to work in the shadows and keep everything very secretive. What's life like that?
It's terrible, it's tough, because you always have to be hiding, and always, you know, the trauma, the depression, the anxiety, and not being able to get this, the same thing that you can get. And, you know, when you look at the Bill of Rights, this promise of 20 years of democracy, freedom, apartheid is gone. We are the free. Continent up there.
What?
You know, freedom was promised so much, and that was one thing that Specs on brought up, of that freedom. And the Specs the sunglasses were overlooking Robben Island. So when we erected the mirrors, we wanted to can you see the man in the mirror? Yeah. Can you see, when you look back, what do you look at? We're promised freedom, and are we getting the freedom that we deserve? When 7 men was brutally massacred, is that freedom? Are we getting that dignity that we need? So it's also those questions that we constantly ask ourselves, even the Sisonke members and Sisonke activists and advocates, to say, are we getting that freedom in South Africa? Yes, so I think it's the biggest question that we also have.
Goodness, did you have something to add?
No, she said it all. It's hard. It's extremely, it's got to do with who we are. And you know, like we mothers, so I'm alone. When you're young, it's you, okay? Then you get extension. And the moment the kids is there, it's not about you anymore. So for us now, we like those tiger or lioness, we're fighting for them for better. I don't think we want them to go through what we're going through now. Definitely not. So that makes it harder for us to sort of stand up there and, you know, advocate for decrim and stand up for any sex worker, the human rights. That's what we do. And we'll keep on doing that.
Now, you've spoken about the Sizzlers massacre, and I know just a few weeks ago a sex worker was murdered in Woodstock. Is violence and violent crime something that sex workers experience regularly now that it is that you're working almost underground?
I think violence is across the provinces. It's murders, rapes. In Kenilworth last year, a lady was murdered.
19-year-old?
A 19-year-old was murdered, and her body was found on the side of the road. And 2 years ago, the Mtetwa case, a sex worker allegedly murdered an artist allegedly murdered a sex worker, and the case is in court on the 1st of June. So we're still waiting for that one. Yeah, the Mtetwa case. Yes. So violence is across provinces, and it's not something like right now. I was talking to my one of my colleagues, and they're telling me about the sex workers who were pepper sprayed in Limpopo by the police and in the vagina, and it causes vaginal cancer or something like that. Yeah, but violence is across. Every day you hear something. It's not some, and I don't understand why, when we've got this law that says you should protect at one time and you have all these human rights violations, it doesn't make sense. That where is that money, or where is that those people who are supposed to stand up for you? What are they talking about, and what conversations are they having? How can we be so blind when South Africa is already a dangerous country, crime-wise, rape-wise is already very high, and you know the gender-based violence is so high, and then when people talk of gender-based violence, we think it's something so far-fetched, and every day we experience gender-based violence. But just because we don't cry gender-based violence, that doesn't mean it's not happening. So I remember we marched to Parliament on gender-based violence. You know, like, it's not fair, and lesbians are being correctively raped. So what more is being done to sex workers? Yeah. A lot is being done, but you know, sometimes it sounds like lip service, where it's just GBV. You know, I'm angry now.
Giving a name to it, yeah.
Do you feel like, it sounds to me like you feel like your human rights as a person have been thrown out the window if you are a sex worker?
I think it's the whole dignity and being a human being.
Yeah.
Yes, being able to serve the community and to be who you want to be for the choice that you make, and all you ask for is for freedom and protection, and that sex work should be decriminalized. Is
to live a dignified life, you know, with dignity. It's a job we're doing. Why should we be handled like dirt and not be respected or dignified for the job we're doing? They take that away, you know. That dignity, because we're doing a job, isn't it? We're supporting our families.
And I think it's important to highlight, I think both of you have said, the sex workers choose to be there. Nobody's forcing them to do this.
No.
It's the job that they want to do. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, if with the right working conditions,
right,
it's something that you can do with all your heart and really enjoy. It's amazing to meet someone, a client who's very in stress or emotional or going through a very hard patch in their life and their marriage with their partner, and just be able to be with them for that time. You know, and just seeing someone just recover and get back on their feet is something that you say, wow, that person has survived. And that's why we say, no, we should have better working conditions, because sometimes people are just in trouble and need someone to talk to, an ear or a shoulder to lean on.
It's not always about sex. You know how they say, you sell your body? Come on. It's not always about sex. It's a service we're rendering to men. And like they were saying, we married savers. You know where they come from. The man sometimes needs to get away from the wife, and he needs just a different company. So he comes there, he books you, and you become, not a relationship, but he's got a friend to talk with. And he can go back to his wife and look at her with different eyes, you know, knowing, oh, she is a nag and this and that, but he loves her. Honestly. I'm telling you, he loves her. He won't divorce her, you know, he won't divorce her. But it's just at times he feels like, just to get out of that, have a different perspective on things from another woman maybe. because we know how her brain works. Something like that. But it's not even always about sex. I promise you it's not. The job that we're doing.